You're looking live now at Capitol Hill, where lawmakers are set to hear from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a high-stakes address later today. It comes as conflict worsens in the Middle East and during a busy election season here in the United States. Meanwhile, at least 20 Democratic lawmakers are boycotting the speech altogether, criticizing Netanyahu's handling of the war with Hamas. One of those lawmakers in Illinois, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. Ms. Schakowsky, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate you having me.
One of the reasons we wanted to have you is because you've been an outspoken critic of Benjamin Netanyahu. You also skipped his speech back in 2015. Ms. Schakowsky, what is your motivation this time?
My motivation is very clear. You know, I am a proud Jewish woman. And that is why I am not going to go today, because I think Benjamin Netanyahu is a danger to the state of Israel. He refuses to do anything to release the hostages, while a majority, 60% of Israelis want a ceasefire. He is not interested in any kind of relationship, a long-term plan for the Palestinians. He hates the Palestinians, and he will not want to end this war. He cares only about himself, and as long as Netanyahu sees himself in power, that's all he cares about. And so if we want to end this thing, if we want to see the stopping of people who are dying, if we want to see the hostages released, if we want to see democracy and peace in the state of Israel, then we need to say no to Benjamin Netanyahu. And most Americans really are not in favor of him as well and don't have trust in him.
And that does not mean that those people are anti-Jewish. It means that they're anti-Mr. Netanyahu's policies. Ms. Schakowsky, even as we speak, we're showing images right now from Gaza and just the devastation there. What is your message to Democratic lawmakers who will be in the room, who feel as though being there is necessary to show support to a key ally?
Well, we call Israel right now a key ally, and I understand that he has been invited to be there, and I'm disappointed that he was invited to come. I would encourage that people who don't agree with Benjamin Netanyahu don't stand and applaud him, that they may want to listen to what he has to say. But he is not saying anything that is going to end the devastation that we are seeing right now, not only in Gaza, but in the West Bank, where there are people being attacked, and so Palestinians being attacked. And so if we want this thing to end in a peaceful way, there has to be a long-term solution. And there is, or even a short-term solution to end this. Bibi is not interested in that. He doesn't want to see it. He wants to be the prime minister, to stay where he's at. Look, if he loses his position, he could very well have to go to jail. He has been accused of many misdoings. And so I think that this is all about Bibi, and that's what most Israelis feel as well.
Ms. Schakowsky, thank you so much for giving me your unvarnished and candid opinion. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.